I want to show you a really important technique in bread baking, so important that you need to learn it as soon as possible, and that is how to shape. Hey, it's Gareth here from Busby's Bakery. I'm going to show you the difference between how to shape one type of bread to another type of bread to another type of bread, okay? And see how we can change our shaping with the same dough. I've got a big batch of dough here to make different types of bread. Start off with, I'm going to just lightly flour the surface, okay? It is just a simple 70% water dough, 2% salt, 2% yeast, really basic. It has had a nice long fermentation, so we've got a window pane going on there. First of all, we're going to make a ciabatta. Why are we making this? Because it requires no pre-shaping. We just want to take that piece of dough and plop it in, basically, okay? So we're going to chop one toe piece. I don't know why I'm weighing it. We don't need to weigh it. Let's just do one this big. I'll let you know how big it weighs. So 360. All right. So all we're going to do now is just pull it into shape like that. I think we're going to need a bit more flour than what I've got on there, and a bit of semolina. So just go. Let's have a nice little rest there for a minute. There we go. Chuck him on there. Make sure we've got enough on the sides here. Last thing you want is it sticking. Cool, that can just sit on there. In fact, if I give that a bit of a dusting, I can roll it over like that. So, just making one. Okay, next up, I think we'll do the rest of these all at the same shape. So, about 550, go 600 grams. 586, that'll do. We'll do them all at that. And I really have made them, they're all 586 grams. I want them to be as consistent as possible. And then the last piece, we want to make a baguette, or maybe 2 baguettes. Let's check that on there. I've got one baguette there, and then over here. Okay, first of all, this one here is a tiny little one. We're just going to make a little roll out of it. So I'm just going to roll it around on here. With my hands, and we're just cupping it like that, okay? And you start off flat, and as you get closer on, as you get further on, you start moving your hand upwards. Okay? This isn't the best dough to do this, it's a little bit gassy, but we're going to still make a nice little batter for us. This piece here, we're going to do our standard shaping. So, we've turned it upside down so that the seam, the rough edge, is at the top, okay? So this is this nice soft glossy one, and at the bottom it's not so glossy, it's not so neat and pretty. Okay. So towards us like that, then we give it a turn, give it another push in, give it another turn, give it another push in, and we just keep going round the longest edge towards the middle, until we kind of get to this point where you're just making a rectangle going backwards and forwards. In which case, you do one nice little push, give it a little push like that, in with your fingers, turn last time, and then we just do some light cupping, bringing the dough towards us. Okay, a little bit of flour, and we're going to bench press that one. Okay. Now, with the next one, we're going to do it exactly the same. If you get any dough stuck to the table like that, best to just give it a clean as you see it. Next up, take a piece of dough, do exactly the same thing again. Towards us and in. A little bit of flour if we need it. There. 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 Then you can see that we get this kind of rectangle thing where now if I stretch it over here, it just means that that side goes to the long one and that side goes to the long one. So it's not really achieving anything. So we're just going to do one last stretch over like that and give it that push in like that. That push just creates that surface tension. Turn it back around and then just cup it with our hands, bringing it towards us. I think the term's balling it. Okay, and we're then just going to put it onto our side there. Now this one, so we're just going to pop it in like this. So this one we're going to repeat the same thing again. Lastly, the baguette. Again, a little bit of flour on the surface. Give it a fold over like that. Like that. Okay. And with a baguette, you kind of want it a little bit longer. You don't want it perfect round, so just give it a little shape like that. Okay, so it's a little sausage. This roll is just going to go straight on a greaseproof sheet, just like that. I'm not 100% confident in the roll, just because it's a bit of a gassy dough now. Rolls generally don't want that, but the rest of them I'm sure will be absolutely great. So what are we going to do? We've got our ciabatta over here. That is done. That is ready to proof. That's in its final proof shape. You do not pre-shape and then shape a baguette, ciabatta, because you want that openness. Okay, then we're going to do two boules. Okay, one of them is going to be really tightly, we're going to really degas it and we're going to really get that nice and tight before we shape it, put it in a banneton. Then we're going to do another one which is going to be lightly shaped, so and put into a banneton. Okay, so we're going to have one really tightly and one nice and light, so that should give us a more open texture, we think. Okay, and this one here we're just going to do a little bloomer just because it's a bit of fun, and it's the same technique for a bloomer as it is for a sandwich tin, so yeah, I'm just going to do a bloomer. Lastly, don't forget we've got a nice little baguette, so just to show how we can get a different type of texture in our crumb, in our crust, from the same type of flour. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different types of bread, or different styles of bread, all made from the same dough, and hopefully we're going to have a nice big difference between. Right, so I've allowed them to rest for about 15 minutes. So we're going to lightly dust our bannetons. I've also changed my mind. Instead of doing a bloomer, we're going to do another one in a long banneton instead. A little bit of semolina as well. So we shouldn't need any flour, so let's just get cracking onto it. So this one here is going to be, we're going to try and push out as much air as possible out of it. If your hands do get sticky, then do put a little bit of flour on your hands. Okay. And then exactly the same technique as before, but this time it will hold its shape a little bit better. So over like that, turn it, over like that. You can put your finger underneath if you want to, if it helps, just like that. You don't have to though. By now the dough should be a lot smoother as well. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so now we're just going to do our cupping, bring it towards us. So this has had a good old stretch. And then in we go like that, seam side up. So then the next one, again, put a little bit of flour on top as it got a bit stuck last time. Okay, just a tad. And then this one's going to be lightly folded, so we're not going to try and push any air out, just literally going to fold it over like that, like that, like that, like that, like that. Cup it around straight away, give it a tiny little bit. This is where we knock out a lot of the air out. And then put that one straight into the basket. Now, we take this guy, which is going to be our long banneton. So, shape it out, turn the sides over, roll it towards us again, and like that. Okay, how beautiful is that? So, we've got the seam there. We're just going to lift that up, put that in like that, and that fits the size of the banneton just about perfect. If you're a bit worried about it touching the sides, then just sprinkle a little bit around the edges. Do not put flour on the top. I see so many people do that, and that is a very pointless thing to do. All you're going to do is soak up the water, the moisture, and make your dough dry up. So we're going to take our other tea towel for our baguette. And just like a ciabatta, just going to load it with flour. And then take it into the middle here. And we just start from the middle like that, and then we just roll our hands out. And if we don't get all the way in the first go, it's not a problem. We start again, and we roll it out. Okay, and we just keep doing that. If you need a bit of flour, just dust a bit over. And the stow's a little bit gassy for this. Okay, so we now have our tightly shaped boule over here. We have our lightly shaped boule over here. And if you touch them, yeah, you can feel a bit of a difference. Then we've got our in the middle shaped, normally shaped, long banneton there, which will turn out. Then in here we've got a ciabatta, which is, let's have a look, we can see it, here we go, which is doing quite nicely over there. He's just chilling and proving up. And then over here we've got our baguette. And then here, don't forget, we've got our roll over here, which I will just put a bowl over the top, just like that, to stop it skinning up. So I'm going to get these proved, I'm going to get them baked when they're ready, and then I'm going to shoot in the next scene what they look like when we cut into them. baking, and I'm really pleased with the results that we've got here. We have got, let's show you. So here was the cute little crusty roll. Let's just cut him in half and have a look. We've got a fairly dense crumb there, nice and sticky. Yeah, that was good fun, that. And the next one that came out the oven was the baguette, which was pretty cool. I've made slightly nicer ones. Yeah, we definitely got a good texture there. And let's just cut one side there. Can have a look at that crumb, nice big hole in there. Some texture, looking good. Next up, we've got the ciabatta. Yeah, really proud of this ciabatta. Let's just open. So it's nice and soft. Oh yeah. Oh, that is. Just love the smell of a nice ciabatta. And bear in mind, there's no olive oil. This is the same recipe, just flour, water, salt, and yeast that we've used. And just look at the difference you can get in each type of bread. So then we move on to the batard sort of shape one. Oh, it's got a nice crust in that. Look at the openness there. We've got our two balls. Now remember, we did them both exactly the same, apart from the final shaping. We did one a bit tighter and one a bit looser. That one there was a lot looser. It got bigger and it stayed bigger. That one was tighter, it was more compact, so we're expecting the crumb to be a little bit tighter as well, because it is definitely smaller. So, and we've got some lovely bubbles on the top here from that long fermentation dough that was 36 hours. So we have a little cut through here. Yeah, look, I mean, look at the difference. Even though that's a bad cut, you can see that that one is so much more open than that one. You can see it in that crumb there as well. Wow. It just goes to show how big a difference you can make by shaping your dough stronger, harder, different shapes, rolls, whatever, that you can make so many different types of bread out of the same dough. So if you found this interesting and you want to find out more about bread baking, then please subscribe to the channel, give us a like below as well, and do all those bits. Check out the website where you can access loads and loads of recipes if you're not there already, with all the baker's formulas, so you can work out, you can scale them up, you can scale them down, and you can even